women's rights and suffrage in the 1920s. Oh my. The 19th Amendment was basically saying that women can vote. It said something like people of both sexes are allowed to vote, and that was the main goal of the women's rights movement, to get some equality and be a part of the politics and be able to do stuff for our country. Before the women's rights movement, so like the 1800s, because the 1800s, women were not as important, or their roles were like important, but in a different way. Like they were just supposed to stay home and not get money and have education. Basically they were just supposed to be like kind of, I don't want to say maid, but basically like someone's maid, because they just take care of like the kids and clean and cook for them, which was whack. But yeah, that's what really fired up the whole women's rights movement, and women just wanted to be treated equal and have more opportunities to do stuff with their lives. Turning points. The first women's rights convention was in 1848 in Seneca Falls, New York. And at this convention, the women who wrote the Declaration of Sentiments, which basically is just women demanding for things to be changed and for them to be treated equal with men. And in 1899 was the first International Women's Peace Demonstration, which, if you look it up, it says there's one in 1961 in the United States in Washington, D.C., but this one actually happened in Germany, obviously before the 19th Amendment was passed, and their goal was just for a law against the practice of violence, and that women should become more involved with politics and stuff, which makes sense going along with the suffrage thing, because women wanted to vote. And okay, anyways, some important people are these three, which there's a lot more important people involved in the whole women's rights movement, but these three you probably heard of a lot. Lucy Stone, who's this one, and then Susan B. Anthony right here, and then Sojourner Truth. Yeah, they were all activists during the women's rights movement, and Lucy Stone, she helped organize a lot of the conventions that happened, and Susan B. Anthony and Sojourner Truth just went around the conventions and gave speeches and helped with whatever they could, obviously, during the whole movement. And Sojourner Truth is particularly, like, she stands out because of one speech. Not one, like, all of her speeches were amazing, I'm guessing, but her speech she gave in 1851, Ain't I a Woman, was like looked upon, and like, I don't know, it was just moving and like inspiring. Yeah. Okay, anyways. The effects of the women's rights movement. Now women make up 48% of the US labor force, which the percentage has probably gone up because there's a lot of women who are working now than, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years ago. But shortly after the whole movement ended, really like slowed down a little, women were more open to going to college and like getting education and going to work and getting out of the house. Yeah. There was even like better working conditions made for women, so like private household employments, spin rooms, and like laundries, because some women still like did the household chores and but yeah, and these are my citations.